So yeah, we're in the Defendants Antechamber, Supreme Court of Judicature. Just look at my priceless treasure now. Myself, I've scrubbed and scrubbed, but the repellent odor of meat will never be repelled from its resplendent surface again. But you have it back in your possession, at least. You should be grateful, man. So this is from the first case, from when, I have such an itchy nose, oh my god. From when John H. Wilson was killed. How dare you? Excuse me, but I'd just like to get out of that Zabuton cushion there if I could. Rest assured, you miserable military malefactor, this is not over. Incarceration awaits those who would defraud a senior citizen for his priceless treasures. Watch your tongue, old man. Mark my words, I won't. Sorry, Sergeant, but could I just get out of that Zabuton cushion there as well? Oh. I won't go to jail. Never. Imagine if I did. No, oh my god. Chill out! You're scaring your child! Oh my god. The very next day, my boy would starve without the chain of command in place to provide for him. Using the child to protect yourself? Myself, I call that an absolute cowardice. Oh, really? And who just employed the old, poor, defenseless senior citizen tactic? The only way to find an enemy who's using underhand tactics is with a tit-for-tat strategy. Sorry to interrupt again, but I just need to get out of that Western-style cushion there on the sofa. Enough of this insubordination. What do you want, man? Oh, please. Don't mind me. Aha! Did my eyes deceive me, or is this the wide-eyed criminal from the trial before? Wide-eyed, perhaps, but criminal? No. It's so weird seeing the witnesses from the first trial now that we've completed the, main cases. What is this unhealthy fascination you exhibit with the seating arrangements of others, Why were you appearing under the cushion of this upholstered seat? Oh, well, the thing is... Any luck? Did you find it? And there's Kazuma. No, sadly not. I don't think it's here, Kazuma. You really are a liability, Ryunosuke. Report! At once! Have you lost something? Is that it? Yeah, we were just on our way to a party to celebrate my friend's victory here when... I realised that my university pin badge was missing. A university pin badge, you say? Yeah, from my collar here, you see. Affirmative, uniforms must be kept in prime condition at all times. A missing badge is unacceptable. I thought if I looked around, it would probably turn up somewhere. Like the old tale of the Koban coin and the stake. A parable of which I am acutely aware. But I've exhausted my search now, really. The only logical conclusion is that someone must have stolen it. Don't look at me, I don't just find any old metal objects irresistible, you know. You do know, sir. We all know you do. Imagine what would happen if little trooper Idol here swallowed something like that. Yeah, you stole... From what I can remember, you stole the old guy. What is his name? We don't have the court record, so I can't check his name, but yeah, you stole the old guy's thing. So, yeah. I'm gonna turn my music down. Oh, I've got it turned down. I was gonna say I was gonna turn my music down, but I've got it down pretty quiet. I'm afraid we'll have to give up, Ryunosuke. Still, if you tell the office your student number, they should be able to issue you a new one. What's the matter? Don't tell me. Yeah, I don't remember my student number. I don't believe it. I mean, this is the second time you've lost your badge, isn't it? Third, actually. Ryunosuke! Oh my god. If you didn't think you could remember it, you should have made a note of it somewhere. I told you that until I was blue in the face for the last time this happened. Yeah, I do seem to remember something. Someone tell me something along those lines. It was you, was it? You can't even remember who told you that you needed to remember it? Well, student numbers are 6 digits, Kazuma. Who could remember 6 whole digits? My student number is longer than that, and I still remember it. Yume isn't exactly a long-established university, you know. All of our numbers are still rather low. In fact, they only use the last 3 digits. Well, that might help, I suppose. That might help? Ryunosuke, it's only 3 digits you need to remember. Just 3. The other 3, the first 3 are 0. Swear to God, Ryunosuke. Sorry, my brain is such a disappointment. Swear to God. Yeah, well, anyway, young man. Myself, I was greatly impressed with you in the courtroom today. Oh, you mean me? No, a lawyer already before you've even graduated. And such a loyal friend to this one. This one? What's that supposed to mean? You, the forgetful little shit, Ryunosuke? Oh no, I still have much to learn. In fact, that was brought home to me in no uncertain terms only last year. My Achilles heel was spectacularly exposed by my best friend here. Indeed? Oh, what, by me? This is the first time I've heard about it. Yeah, by Ryunosuke Naruhodo. You can't have forgotten, surely. It was last summer at the speech contest. A speech contest? Oh, that. Contestants had to take to the stage and deliver a public address on any subjects they chose. We were competing to give the most compelling and powerful speech. And yours was great. It made a huge impression on the audience. Obviously, since I was a budding student of law, I was determined to win. And sure enough, one by one, my opposition fell. When I reached the final at last, I came up against you. Yeah, so you did. Not being rude, but when I first laid eyes on you, I thought to myself, this cheeky, wide-eyed no-hoper is out of his depth. He's going to be a pushover. He kind of is a pushover. That's your version of not being rude, is it? Well, I paid for my complacency because it brought on that humiliating defeat. Defeat? How were your ranks compromised? Don't push your child down like that. My speech was going very well. I had the audience in the palm of my hand. They hung on my every word. And then, when it came to the very last line... Yeah? What happened at the very last line? It was supposed to be a climactic end. Unfortunately, I completely fouled it up. Never. You mean, you stumbled on your words. Like I do every Ace Attorney stream. Spectacularly. Even now, I can't believe I ruined it. Well, what on earth did you say, man? Ryunosuke, you'd better say it. I still can't get my tongue around it. Sure, of course. I can still recall it perfectly. What you said at the end of your speech, or rather, what you intended to say at the end of your speech, was this. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and the fight for filial piety. And what went wrong? Well, indeed. Myself, I see no problem with the pronunciation of these poetry words. In that case, old man, I invite you to say it yourself. Well, very well then, I shall. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and the fight for our filial piety. It's impossible! The arise, ladies and gentlemen part I delivered perfectly. The next part had me floundering for a whole 5 minutes. By the end of it, I was on my knees in front of the podium, a blabbering mess. Again, me every Ace Attorney stream. And that's when the audience started to heckle you. Arise, arise, they were shouting. Hell on earth. But then, of course, this man went and delivered his word-perfect speech with a perfect ending. How did it go again? Let me see. So, my dear fellows, the message is simple. Treat your father and mother with respect. Something like that. I mean, talk about stating the obvious. But the fact is, I lost to that speech. Tongue-tied is the only way to describe it. Well, it is quite tricky to say, I agree. That final flight for filial piety especially. And ever since that day, I've had this question whirling around in my head. Why did our forefathers choose such an awkward phrase? Was it to mock their children? I mean, it should never have been called filial piety in the first place. At least you're going to Great Britain soon. It might not come up much there. And if you watched me play through the last case, you know that Kazuma was not going to Great Britain to study. He was going there to, you know, to kill. Who was he supposed to kill? Because I know Asashine was meant to kill Sashiro Jigoku, was it? No, Sashiro was the one who orchestrated it. No, Kazuma was the one that was supposed to kill Gregson, I think. And then I can't remember who Asashine was supposed to kill. It's been 2 months since I played this. Well, anyway, having lost that accursed contest, I came after you to ask you a question. How is it that you never trip up on your words, I inquired. And you just gave me a broad smile and said, speaking fast is my hobby. I mean, really? What kind of a hobby is that? Also my hobby. Do you think you could take your hand off your sword? Besides, it's just a way to pass the time. After that, you started talking at me 10 to the dozen, like you were possessed almost. Honestly, you can't imagine the shock I suffered that day. You really can't. You're right, I really can't. Speaking fast is just sort of the sort of hobby I'd expect a civilian like you to waste his time on. Well, you have to practice, of course, but there are some simple things to start with. Oh, I finally get to see the attorney game. Welcome on in, Tanga. Welcome on in. How are you doing? How are you doing, Tanga? Yeah, this is the Great Ace Attorney. Yeah, we have a few little bits to finish off. Not what I expected, though. Well, there's like a ton of Ace Attorney games. So, I mean, I don't know what you were expecting, but like, yeah, there's a ton of Ace Attorney games, and this one actually, the Great Ace Attorney, is actually set in like the 1900s ish. While all the other ones are like set in like present day. So this is like the one that is like the most like different time period wise to like every single other game. Like a briefcase and a courthouse limo. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, with the Great Ace Attorney, we've done all the cases now, and we're doing these little like things called escapades, which from what this is like the first one, so I don't really know what they're like, but like they're like kind of, from what I've heard, they're kind of just like little mini movies that like kind of happen like after the whole case, happen after a case. So yeah, unfortunately, you are missing the big dramatic courtroom scenes. Like this famous one, for example. Swift samurai sword swipe silently sideways. Oh dang, yeah. But don't worry. I'm starting. But you get to solve cases. Yeah, get to solve cases. But luckily I'm starting a new Ace Attorney game on. Well, not a new game. It's like just a re-release, a port of the Dangerous Investigations games. So you have a while to, you know, check out any other Ace Attorney stuff at the end where I eventually start that one. Yes, even a decrepit tongue in an ailing frame such as mine can find its way around that one. I've no doubt it's just a bit of fun, really. I can't imagine anybody would struggle to say it. Isn't that right, Kazuma? Swift is swamparized. Come on, Kazuma. A blabbering mess by word 2. It's not just a samurai. Every good soldier needs to be able to handle a sword. That's why I've been busy teaching Ida the finer points of swordplay. None of this wordplay nonsense, Private. He's a baby though. How? Come to think of it, not long after that, we started to attend lectures together, didn't we? And we got into that debate about family values and at the Sukiyaki place on campus. Do you remember? Yeah, your argument was full of jokes and puns and wordplay as usual. I remember it well. Oh, was it? In any case, I I swore that I would never let myself forget the shock you gave me back then. And as a symbol of how seriously I took that oath, I decided to wear this, my red hachimaki, my headband. Silence. Sorry, Kazuma. Yeah? You've lost me there, I'm afraid. I don't see the link. What does your red headband have to do with your oath? Because it will always remind me of that smug look on your face as you uttered those tantalizing words. What words? You mean another tongue twister? I practiced and practiced until my tongue bled, but in the end I mastered it. Mastered what? Well, I think it's time you heard this actually. Listen carefully now. Here goes. Red headband, lead headband, dead headband. Yeah, word perfect, you see? What does that even mean? I'd actually been meaning to ask you about that. About the story behind your headband, I mean. Well, now you know, so that I'll never forget the shock and humiliation of that day. This is why I wear this red headband every single day without fail. Well, I don't know exactly how much of a shock you think you had back then, but can't be more than the shock you've just given me now. What do you mean? Well, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but the tongue twister I said didn't go the way you seem to have remembered it. Huh? It's just as famous as Swiss samurai swords, so I can't believe you don't know it really. It goes red bread pan, lead bread pan, dead bread pan. Wait, what? Red. Ah! It seems I've knocked some wind out of that headband of yours. It's not too late, Private. You can always start wearing red bread pan on your head instead. Your youthful vigor is manifest, young man. Your cheeks are glowing redder than your hachimaki. Why do so many words have to be so similar? So, looking forward to Great Britain then, where you'll have to deliver speeches in court in English. I suppose I can always shell seashells on this seashore. Kazuma. Okay, and is that the end of the first escapade, I think?